Soinean daramat, ezakuta esparde. I carry it in the body, no luggage, no bag, I carry it in the body. The first words, my language, from my mother, breast and milk, I carry it in the body. In 2016, a law was passed in Denmark called the jewelry law, a controversial law that enabled the Danish authorities to confiscate valuable items from Syrian refugees fleeing the war. I found this an act of great, great cruelty. Jewelry and adornments are small and portable and are worn on the surface of the body, but the power they hold can be truly deep. We project meaning and value onto objects and jewelry. Within these small objects, many stories are stored. They are gifted, handed down, found, utilitarian or symbolic. Jewelry becomes displaced through the physical and geographic movement of the displaced wearer, and often becomes the only tangible connection to places, moments, and people left behind. The only tangible connection to back home. When things we hold dear are gone, what are we left with? And that makes me think of a poem by Kathleen Raine. I'll read a little extract of it just now. The song is older than the singer, shaped by the love and the long waiting of women dead and long forgotten, who sang before remembered time to teach the unbroken heart its sorrow. The girl who waits for her young soldier learns from the cadence of a song how deep her love, how long the waiting. Sorrow is older than the heart, already old when love is young. The song is older than the sorrow. The song is older than the singer. At 6 years of age, on the Isle of Canna, I listened to wax cylinder recordings of Scottish songs and stories from Nova Scotia that my beloved lifelong friend, Scottish environmentalist and folklore scholar John Lorne Campbell recorded in the 1930s. The old voices sounded faint and far away, hidden underneath the very loud sound of the deteriorating wax cylinder. These voices must be treasured, he said. They are full of wisdom. We were listening to recordings of the descendants of the many Scottish people that were evicted and displaced from the Scottish Highlands and Islands at the time of the Scottish clearances between 1750 and 1860. This experience exposed me for the first time to the reality of migration and displacement, the movement of songs, stories, and objects, both in space and in time. That was the beginning of a very long conversation that went on for many, many years until John died in 1996. A long conversation about the value of endangered epistemologies, about ecology, about stewardship, about the wisdom contained in language, song, and lore, wisdom about land, love, life, and death, wisdom about the more than human, wisdom carried in the body. This brings me back to the Danish jewelry law and the increasingly ruthless, inhumane immigration laws everywhere against people seeking asylum. They strip the human of all possessions and all dignity. The body is all that is left, a vessel that carries inner and outer landscapes, shaped by scars, memories, connections, and journeys through time and space. For me, singing like the old sardine sellers did, in a language that was forbidden, and playing an instrument that nearly disappeared, these are invitations to my landscape and an act of defiance. I believe that creating spaces where these landscapes can be shared and dialogues can happen between languages, knowledges, and ecologies is restorative, especially when the voices that speak outside the pages are celebrated, like they have been for the last 50 years by the Center for Human Ecology. And talking about dialogues, I will now introduce you to the txalaparta and to Bella, who is going to help me introduce you to the txalaparta. This is called the txalaparta, and it's a Basque percussive device that has been used for millennia for calling, for celebrating, and for helping communities depart with their dead. One person alone cannot place it. It can only be placed in dialogue with somebody else. So I've recently started conversations with Bella in the txalaparta. So she's going to help me kind of demonstrate how the txalaparta works. I think when you play txalaparta, you need to listen with beyond the ears. You have to listen with your entire body. You cannot think, because if you think, you mess up. So we're going to try not to think too much and try and listen to each other holistically to see if this works. Tambourine.
Ooh.
Thank you. Xoxo beltz bat banuen, kaiolan sartuta, egun baten neguan, hil zen gisa joat. Lurpian sartu nuen, zelaian txokuan, egun argitzen denin, txoku hartan, xoxuen kantuak, txoku hartan, xoxuan kantua. Tristerik nago, tristerik, ez daukat adiskiderik. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.